Welcome to our training session for the ChimSpect software. We'll be talking about how chimney inspection report writing can be simplified with the ChimSpect app that's available for the Android and the Apple, and also our dashboard and how they can work together. This course is available for CEUs for both CSIA, NFI, and FIRE. If you need to receive continuing education credits, you'll need to email me after this is over at jim@chimspect.com with your name, company name, and your certification numbers. Here's our current promotion. If you haven't already done so, you can go to chimspect.com and sign up. After you've watched this video, send an email to jim@chimspect.com with the subject line promotional refund, and I'll refund your first month of service. You'll lock in our promotional price for at least 1 year. Our current pricing is $70 per month. That includes one device and the dashboard. If you need additional devices, each additional device is $30 per month. You can cancel at any time, so this is a no-risk offer. ChimSpect is available for the Apple iOS platform as well as the Android platform, which is available through the Google Play Store. It works on tablets, it works on smartphones. We also have a dashboard that works hand in hand with the app to make the app even more powerful. In this training session, we are going to cover what ChimSpect is and how it fills the need in our industry. We'll talk about where ChimSpect came from, how it originated, and who the developers of it are. Very importantly, we'll talk about why you need ChimSpect. While ChimSpect does come with a monthly fee, you'll quickly find that not using ChimSpect costs you money. We'll go through some detailed instructions on how to use ChimSpect. Now, this particular training session will be a very long video, and it will cover every aspect of every detail in ChimSpect and the dashboard. But I'm also going to release some shorter videos which will cover just individual segments of ChimSpect if you need a refresher on certain issues. We're going to talk a lot about how using ChimSpect for insurance claims, and we're going to talk about how using your knowledge of codes along with ChimSpecs can help you to deal with insurance adjusters and get a lot of things that we previously thought really shouldn't be covered, or at least the insurance industry convinced us should not be covered. And ChimSpect is going to talk about, in this training, we will talk about how to use ChimSpect to deal with insurance companies and let them know that, yes, the customer is entitled to a lot of the things that previously we just didn't believe that were covered. We're going to talk about how to use ChimSpect to increase your profits. And specifically, we will talk about how ChimSpect is going to reduce your liabilities. Because in this industry, we are required to offer a certain standard of care. How are you proving that you're meeting that standard of care? And if you're ever involved in a litigation, you need to be able to prove that you've met that standard level of care for your client. So what is ChimSpect? ChimSpect is a very systematic approach to chimney inspections. So it's going to help you standardize the way that your techs and everybody inspects chimneys. It's also going to help you to, using our comment assist library, it's going to help you build reports very quickly, and all your techs are going to be using the same language. It's very intuitive and very easy to use. It is very powerful, and it creates a very professional looking report that is going to impress your customers, and it's going to be very good for you to store with your customer records. ChimSpect reduces mistakes and increases accuracy. ChimSpect is very versatile. You can use ChimSpect to inspect on one inspection report any number of masonry or prefab chimneys, regardless of how many flues each of these chimneys has. You can do any number of fireplaces or appliances, and they're all gathered in one place, and it's actually going to create 3 reports, and we'll talk about the 3 reports a little bit later. The 2000 edition of the NFPA 211 made the 3 levels of inspection our industry standard, whether you're sweeping chimneys, repairing chimneys, or installing new appliances into chimneys. Since that time, I've searched for a reliable system to prove that I was meeting that standard. I also wanted to offer a valuable service to my customers and also use it as a sales tool, but I really didn't find anything out there that I was happy with. So I developed my own system, and it was very good. I was using Excel. And as word got out, a lot of other chimney professionals were wanting to use my system. Some of the insurance adjusters that I was working with said that they were the most professional reports that they'd ever seen come out of this industry. And as word got around, people wanted to buy my Excel spreadsheets. But I did not want to be customer support for Excel. So I contacted my brother. Now, my brother's got over 40 years experience in the software industry, and we decided to create ChimSpect so that we could share our product with others. ChimSpect has been several years into research and development. My brother and I and another programmer have worked on this system 12 months full time, and we have over 4,000 hours into programming our system. And if you multiply that times the standard rate of programmers in my brother's company at 125 hours, just in programming we have over $500,000 value invested. Now we have a product that we can offer you. So why do you need ChimSpect? Well, the big thing is you can use ChimSpect to make a lot more money. Also, ChimSpect helps you to prove that you are meeting the standard level of care, which means that you're going to be reducing your liability. Using ChimSpect is also going to increase your credibility, as it shows your customers that you know what you're talking about, and you can give them a very professional report to show to them. And a real important thing is you want to get this software and app before your competition gets it. I want to start by talking a little bit about my wife and I and our company. My wife and I, this is my lovely bride, Becky. We've been married for almost 38 years now. And for 37 years, we have been blessed with the Ferguson Fireside Chimney Cleaning and Repair business. And we've grown a little bit. Right now, that's my crew. We have a total of, including office workers and part-time employees, we have about 11 people working for us currently. I'm going to brag a little bit about our company. The Lord has really blessed our company. We are the largest, most successful chimney service within at least a 1-hour drive of our area. We are at least double the price of our local competitors on sweeps and inspections. We forward schedule most of our regular customers into the spring, and by September we are usually booked out nearly 3 months on our sweep. By late fall last year, I was already telling people who wanted estimates for repair work, if they wanted that work before the winter of 2019, they needed to get a deposit in now. We take 30% deposits on our estimates to schedule, and we rarely have less than $30,000 in deposits on work to be done. Now, we live in an area that the average household combined income is less than $60,000, so we're not in a real affluent area. Even with that, it's very commonplace for us to do jobs that range in the $15,000 to $25,000, and occasionally jobs higher than that. And I started talking about our job range a couple of years ago, and I was telling people 8 to 12. Now I'm telling our commonplace jobs is between $15,000 and $25,000 price range, and again, occasionally jobs that are even higher than that. In less than 1 year's time, we purchased 3 very nice but used trucks, paid cash for all of them, which was a total of about $70,000. We don't have cash flow problems. We've increased our prices to control our backlog of work. We are now able to provide health care for our employees. We offer paid vacations. We have performance and efficiency bonuses. Now, does that sound like I run a very successful company to you? I'm not just saying that because I want to brag about our company. I want to tell you how successful we are now, but I want to tell you where I came from and then how I got to become a very successful company. So, do you want me to lie to you or do you want me to tell you the truth? Here's a shocker. I haven't always operated a highly successful company. I spent too many decades in business running my business like it was a job. My job was looking for the next job to squeak through the slow season in hopes of a great busy season. Just to do it all again, hoping for the next great busy. I approached my customers in each job the wrong way. I treated my business like it was a job, and I spent every day looking for the next job. I spent too much time going for what I call the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit was a sweep, a cap, seal the crown, seal the flashing, maybe walk away from an appointment with $500 to $1,000. And that doesn't sound all that bad, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's all the customer needs. But if you're hurrying through your appointments with low-hanging fruit mentality, you're putting your customers at risk. You're putting yourself at risk. Now, for years we've had it droned into us. Go for the repeat business. Forward schedule. Now, don't get me wrong, we do forward schedule, but you know what? My repeat customers are a pain. Why would you say that? Well, repeat customers are an annoyance. They get in the way. They get into places where I could put a new customer in. They take a time slot where new customers would go, and new customers have new problems. My old customers, my repeat customers, have mostly had their problems fixed, or maybe they just don't care or don't have the money to get it taken care of. So what I have learned to do is go for the gold. And going for the gold means better inspection reports. You want to go for the gold. Going for the gold is not just about the money. Now, don't get me wrong, it is about the money, but it's also about keeping the money. You want to reduce your liability. Well-documented reports reduce your liability. You want to manage your risk. In 37 years, I have been involved in 2 different litigations because my employees missed things. If they saw them, they didn't report them. And, well, if it's not documented in your report with writing and with pictures, guess what? It never happened. But if you leave them with a well-documented report, 1, you're going to reduce your liability. 2, you're going to help your customers understand the problems in their chimney, and you're going to get more work. So if you leave them with a well-documented report, you're going to get more work, and more work means more money. ChimSpect makes it hard to miss things, but you still need the education to know what you're looking at. ChimSpect alone is not enough. You need good education. More education means more money. It also means less liability. ChimSpect alone is not enough. ChimSpect and education equal a huge increase in. Okay, if you've gotten bored and you've fallen asleep at this point in my presentation, here's where you want to wake up and take notes, because I'm going to give you the keys to Fort Knox as far as the insurance companies are concerned. We used to feel like we had to beg and negotiate with the insurance companies to get even $4,000 to $8,000 on a chimney fire repair. Now we are regularly getting $14,000 to $24,000 on insurance relines. What are you getting? Here's a very important code that I learned in one of my inspection and report writing classes with Michael Sagerstrom and Bill Ryan. The IRC, write this code down. Where an inspection reveals that an existing chimney is not safe for the intended application, it shall be repaired, rebuilt, lined, relined, or replaced with a vent or chimney to conform to NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for all of the appliances to be vented. The other important thing is manufacturer's instructions. This is Olympia's instructions, but they should all be very similar to this. Chimney inspection and cleaning prior to the installation of the lining system. Thoroughly inspect and clean the chimney. All creosote, including glazed creosote, soot, dirt, and debris must be removed before the installation of the liner. A thorough cleaning of the chimney is a warranty prerequisite. The chimney must be inspected for cracked, loose, or missing stones, bricks, and mortar joints. A chimney that is not structurally sound should not be relined. Make any repairs necessary before proceeding with the installation of the liner. As a precaution, it is recommended that a short piece of lining material of the proper diameter to be installed is connected to a pulling cone and is drawn down through the masonry chimney. This will ensure that no obstructions exist that should be removed, and will result in a smoother installation of the system. Now, Olympia chimney liner requirements. A chimney inspection and cleaning prior to the installation of the lining system, and thoroughly inspect the cleaning of the chimney. Before, insurance companies were telling me that this is a maintenance issue, and we are not required to pay for the chimney sweeping. But our instructions say that it is a required part of the relining of the chimney. So I'm getting for them to pay for the sweeping and pay for the level 2 inspection because it is required. Now, if there is any creosote, including glaze, soot, and debris, that must be removed before the installation of the liner. So if PCR is necessary to remove the glaze, I'm getting them to pay for the PCR. Quite often, I will have to remove the tile from the chimney, and there's glazed creosote behind the tile. So we include in our estimates the appropriate sized applicator for the PCR, as well as the application of the PCR as part of the estimate. Olympia chimney liner requirements also say that the chimney must be inspected for cracked, loose, missing stones, bricks, or mortar joints because the chimney needs to be sound. Make any necessary repairs before proceeding with the installation of the liner. We often tell the insurance company, we cannot install a liner in this chimney as a repair for this chimney fire because the chimney is not in good repair. And the manufacturer, as well as National Code, requires that chimney to be in good condition before we install the liner. So quite often, I am getting the insurance companies to also pay for the repair on the chimney when previously I was not able to do that. Again, this is because of education as well as educating the adjusters. Also, use a short piece of lining material of the proper diameter and pull it through the chimney to do a pre-test. I get the insurance companies to pay for a pre-fit test. I never even thought about that. Back to the IRC code on unsafe chimneys. Where inspection reveals that an existing chimney is not safe for the intended application, it shall be repaired, rebuilt, lined, relined, or replaced with a vent or chimney to conform with NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for the appliances to be vented. The key in this one is to conform to NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for all the appliances. Many of you may say in your area that NFPA is not part of the current code. It's not what the authority and jurisdiction recognizes, but they do recognize the IRC, or at least a version of the IRC. Now, this conform to NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for the appliances to be vented. Even if the customer does not have code upgrade. I have been getting insurance companies to pay for additional things such as an orphaned water heater. You know what I mean by an orphaned water heater? Previously there was multiple gas appliances vented into the same flue, and they went with a high efficiency furnace, and now that high efficiency furnace no longer vents into the chimney, but the water heater is still there. That water heater has been orphaned, but the proper sized liner was not installed into the chimney. NFPA 211 says, and it shall be suitable for the appliances to be vented. So if there's another appliance in that chimney, I have been getting insurance companies to also cover bringing that up to. Education is the key. You're going to need to be able to educate the homeowner about their chimney and about the process that it takes to get their chimney safe for them to be able to use again. They need to understand that when their chimney was built, it didn't meet the standard that was required at the time that it was built, and that they're entitled to have it built, have the chimney repaired, one, in accordance to current codes, two, in compliance with the manufacturer's instructions. And you're going to have to educate the insurance adjuster that we are not looking for a code upgrade here. The chimney was never met the proper codes, was never built to the standards that were in force when the chimney was built. So it didn't meet proper codes then. So we're not doing a code upgrade. We are simply making the chimney compliant to the codes that were in force at the time that the home was built, and also to be compliant with the instructions of the chimney liner and other products that we're going to install in the chimney. Now, do we do this just with insurance companies? No. You should take this approach on every job. Every chimney should get the same level of care. Not just the insurance companies, but every home that you go to. Detailed instructions on how to use the ChimSpect app and software.
This is Jim Ferguson with ChimSpect, Chimney Software Inspection Systems. I'm going to walk you through the sign-up process. From your PC, go to dashboard.chimspect.com. In the upper right-hand corner, click on Sign Up. You'll need to provide your email, your name, company name, a password that's at least 8 digits and contains numbers and uppercase letters. Click on Sign Up. This is where you're going to need a verification code. This is going to be sent to your email. You'll come back to this site and provide your verification code. This is not the code that you need to activate a device. So if you've gone to the website and downloaded our app, it might be a good idea to go ahead and delete that app at this point and re-download it. But this is not the verification code that you need to activate that device. Go to our email, click on verification code. This verification code is only good for about 15 minutes. Press verify account. You've successfully confirmed your account. Now you can go ahead and sign into ChimSpect with your email and password. The first place you're going to need to go is payments. You'll go into payments and you'll activate the number of devices that you want to have access to. The web administrator is your admin portal that you will normally access from a PC, but you can also access that from a browser on your mobile device. And then you're going to select how many devices that you want to add. I would suggest that you add as many devices that you are planning to activate with your crews at this time. Each device is an additional $30. Now, the subscription is a risk-free subscription offer. You'll have 30 days to cancel. So I recommend that you put it in the hands of as many of your employees as possible so that you can determine the best way to use this. You'll be able to add and delete devices later. For now, just press on how many devices that you want to activate. Click on subscribe now. And this is where you'll input your payment information. This is all very self-explanatory, and I am not going to give you my credit card number at this time. When we come back with our next video, we will talk about setting up your dashboard and activating devices.
We are going to take a look at your dashboard and how to set up your devices. Go to ChimSpect.com, click sign in. Put your email and password that you signed up with, click sign in, and this will take you to your dashboard. First, we want you to go to profile. In profile is where you're going to put in your company name, your company address, your company email, phone number. You're going to want to find your logo, choose that file, and our software will automatically size your logo appropriately for your cover page. Another part of what is being built in your profile is your disclaimer. If you see this text in this box for the disclaimer, you're going to receive the disclaimer that we have written for the system. It's pretty good. You should take a look at it. You may want to edit it and have it be more custom for your situation. If you are going to build your own disclaimer, these items are called placeholders. So any place in your disclaimer that you would want the customer name, his address, the information, your company name, address information, inspector's information, you would simply click on any one of these placeholders, and that's going to automatically insert it in your document where you want it. If you decide you want to go back to our own disclaimer, simply delete everything that's in this box. You'll get the grayed out text again, and then you can use our disclaimer that's built into the system. Also, just note that from the profile you can click on change your password or change your subscription if you want to add more devices than you already have signed up for, or if you want to reduce the number of devices that you've got. We'll cover that here in a little bit. This little box down here, again, this allows us to collect any information that you put in your comment assist, and it might help us into building a comment assist library for others. Click save, and then we're going to want you to go to the devices tab. On devices, this is going to say no devices added, but obviously I've been using my account for a while, so we're going to have devices here. What you would do, this tab is going to be very close to the top. You would click add a device. Here's where you'd put in the inspector's name. After the inspector's name, I recommend you put any certifications that he has and the certification number. I would say, I wouldn't just say CSIA certified and the number. I would say certified chimney sweep, CSIA, and then the number. The same thing with if you're NFI or fire. I would spell out what those certifications mean. I am a fire certified chimney inspector, and then your inspector's badge number. Also, you could put your email here and then put waiting for activation. This is the activation code that you're going to put in your device. So if you've opened up your app and it says waiting for activation, this is the activation that you code that you put in, and you don't need to worry about case sensitive because it's automatically going to go in as capital letters. Now your device is activated. From here, we're going to take a look at the Comment Assist library, and we'll be back with that section shortly. This session, we're going to take a look at adding comments to your Comment Assist library, your way of customizing your system to your needs. Go to ChimSpect and sign in. You'll want to go to your Comment Assist library. You'll click on that tab. This section right here is all the parent categories that we look at: the masonry chimney, the flue, the masonry fireplace, prefab chimney, freestandings, vent, or actually vents and connectors. For now, we're going to click on flue, and now this is going to bring up every area that we look at when we are looking at the flue. For now, we're going to look at level of cleanliness of the venting system. You'll notice that I have a couple of comments in here. These are simply demonstration comments that I had added to our system previously. We're going to go ahead and add a new comment. What you'll first want to do is add an excerpt, which is just going to be a couple of brief words so that you can find what you put in the system easily, so that you can use it at any time that you need it. So let's just put demo, and then we can put anything that we want to put in here. Very dirty, glazed, unsafe, whatever we want to add. Okay, so we're going to save that comment. Now we're going to take a look at on our device. If you open up your app and you went to masonry chimney, and then you went to flue, then you'll notice that we can scroll down until we find the level of cleanliness of the venting system, and I am going to tap on this clipboard right here, and you're not going to see the comment that we just added. Matter of fact, you see a couple of other comments there. How you get the comments to show up in your library is these three little lines up here at the top. You'll click on that. It opens up a new menu. This little arrow with the smiley face under it, we're going to click on that, and it says that we can upload or download our disclaimer, and this also downloads our Comment Assist library. So now we're going to open up. It says profile updated successfully. Tap on this little clipboard so that we can see what we have in our library, and you'll see that demo is there. Demo, very dirty, glazed, unsafe. That's all it takes to update your Comment Assist library so that you can build your library to suit your needs. And again, you can do that with any element, any parent element, any of the items that we fill in, so that you can put any comments in that you use regularly. Now, there are lots of comments that are already built into the system. Currently, we do not have them showing up when you click on one of them. Our comments are not available to edit, but rest assured we do have lots of comments in our library. We have well over 200 comments in our library, and we'll probably be growing those sample comments. Those sample comments, you can edit them on your device, cut and paste them, copy them, use them any way that you want. That's it for the Comment Assist library. Now we're going to start learning about the actual app. This is the part you've anxiously been waiting for. First thing that we're going to do is icon identification. This house is where you would enter in your customer information and even take a picture from either your camera roll or from you with your camera. We also have other icons. First of all, if you put your finger and swipe to the right, you'll see that this brings up private notes. That's how to get into your private notes. This is where you would type something in that maybe you didn't want your client to see in a report, like you showed up at 10 o'clock in the morning and they were already drunk. If you tap private notes again, that'll save whatever comments that you put in there, and that will be available for you on your dashboard. If you ever need to call customer support and they want to know what version of the software that you're running, they'll want you to click right on this icon, and these numbers right here, we'll just want you to read those to us, and it will help us to find out what version of the software that you are using. These three little lines here open up a new menu. This is what we call the download icon. It just looks like a little arrow down with a happy face under it. If you've worked on an inspection and you want to delete it from your device, you click the trash can. This cloud with an arrow up uploads your inspection to your dashboard or to the cloud. This little check mark right here marks your inspection as done. If you mark it as done, you will not be able to edit it on your device anymore, but you will be able to edit it from your dashboard, and we'll go over that in a little while. This icon right here is the folder icon. This is your stored inspections, and it's also where you would click to add a new inspection. This icon right here I call the home icon. If you tap this is if you're building a system, like say where you added a masonry chimney and you wanted to add a second masonry chimney, you would tap that icon and it would bring up this menu again so that you could add a second menu or a second masonry chimney. If you wanted to go back to that first masonry chimney and do some work on it, tap on masonry chimney number 1, and then you're going to be able to add a flue, and from there you can choose whether you want to add a fireplace or a freestanding. But let's say you wanted to add multiple flues to this chimney, you would just tap on masonry chimney and hit plus flue. Now we have multiple flues. We can rename any of these elements that are up in this top bar by simply doing what we call a long press, and then you can rename that if you choose to do that. So you might want to say that flue number 2 is the furnace flue. So you can cancel, you can change the name. Going further down, this little box right here that looks like a clipboard, if there is a check mark in that box, it means it's going to show up in the customer's report. If there's no check mark in that box, it will only be any information that you would enter in here is only going to show up in your own report. This icon is how you would get pictures from your library or from your camera. This icon opens and closes the little dialog box, and the furthest over icon is anything from your comment assist library. If it's grayed out, there usually are not comments already in that. We'll come down to this one. You see that it's not grayed out. I'll tap on it and you'll see that we have several options that we can use from our comment assist library. This icon here is the printer icon. When you tap on the printer, it brings up this menu on you, and what this says is the fallback report generation. with that your report does not have its headers and footers entered until you would save it to the cloud. So if you try to print with this, using this icon at the moment, your report's not going to have nice neat divisions on it. We'll go over printing and emailing a little bit later. The last icon here is your on-device presentation, and that is a very powerful tool that lets us show the customer everything that we have added into our report. Again, we're going to go over that shortly. For now, we're just learning the different icons.
Let's get started with our mock inspection for the ChimSpect app. Tap on the icon for our app, and this is the opening page. To start your inspection, up in the upper right-hand corner next to the ChimSpect software logo is 3 little lines. Tap on the 3 little lines. It opens up a new menu, and you'll notice the folder icon all the way to the left with the plus sign on it. Tap that and tap Add New Inspection. All the way over to the left-hand side in the upper corner is a house icon. Tap on it, and that's going to be where you can put all the customer information in. This is also where you would choose your reason for inspection. Many of these items are what would trigger a level 2 inspection. Let's say we're doing a sweeping with an inspection, and we're going to say that we're going to do a level 2 inspection on that, but we can do level 1 parts of a level 2, level 2 parts of 3, or possibly just as needed for an estimate if you are just doing an estimate for a minor repair on the outside of the chimney. This is also the information that's going to go on the cover page of your report. So you're going to want to add a picture of the house from the curb. You can either do that from your camera roll, or you can take a picture. Now we're just doing a picture of a picture on another iPad so that I can quickly do an inspection report. We'll use that photo. Now we've given us all the information that we need to build our cover page. You'll notice the icon that has the plus masonry chimney. We're doing a masonry chimney here. We will touch a long tap and we will rename it. Let's just call this fireplace chimney. Fireplace chimney. Fireplace chimney. Change name. Let's say we have more than one chimney on this home. Let's tap the little icon right next to fireplace chimney that looks like a chimney. And you'll notice that we could add another masonry chimney. We could add a factory built chimney, or we could add a chase. And if we added a chase, then we would have the opportunity to put a factory built chimney inside of that. Let's say that I added these by accident and they need to go away. Let's do a long tap on chase number 1 and we can delete it. Okay, let's go through the inspection of the fireplace chimney. Let's say we wanted to take a picture of the chimney from the outside. We'll use our camera roll, or we'll use our camera again. Again, we could have used the camera roll. These next few fields are optional, whether you want to add those or not. They are good to have for your own records. They won't show up in the customer's report unless you tap the little clipboard here, which puts a check mark in it. Now that would show up in the customer's written report as well as the on-device presentation. The customer knows their chimney's brick, so I don't want it to show up in their report. But for our information, we want to know that that's an exterior chimney. It has an asphalt roof. It's approximately a 412 pitch. The length of the crown, let's say it's 62 inches. The width of the crown, let's say it's 24. Now, right now we're not inspecting the crown, we're just putting some dimensions in. Approximate height above the ground, let's say 25 feet. Approximate height above the roof, 4 feet. Now, does the chimney height meet the 3-2-10 rule? Well, let's say no, it doesn't. Let's put a comment in from our comment assist library. And let's take a picture. Matter of fact, let's use that same picture. Yes, that chimney does meet the 3-2-10 rule, but I took that from kind of an angle that makes it look like it really doesn't. Okay, let's go on down with our inspection report. The mortar condition on this chimney was pretty gruesome. We use that photo. Again, we can use multiple photos in any one of these fields. There's no limit to how many photos that you put in there. Again, we're going to go to our comment assist library, and we're going to say that that mortar has significant cracks. Our little short dialogue helps us know what our longer information is going to be. And notice that we can have multiple comments, and we can append, replace, or just cancel the whole thing. But let's append this, and notice that we have quite a bit of dialogue in here. Again, we can edit this any way that we want, or you can use our comments as they are. Scroll on down. Let's look at the crown and wash cap of this chimney. Now again, obviously this isn't the same chimney, but this is just to help us see what the app will do. We'll use our comment assist library. Significant cracks. It's deteriorated. It's a mortar crown. Now this particular tab I just tapped on, you can choose to use it or choose not to use it. Again, any blanks that you leave in the report are not going to show up as an incomplete report. Let's look at the expansion joint on this chimney. Obviously no expansion joint there. And we do have some comment that we can add. And if you'll notice, the only comments that are available in each of these fields is the one that pertains to that particular field. So no searching through massive libraries. Okay, now I want to move on to the flue. So I press add a flue. And this flue will always be attached to this chimney. So if you were to add another chimney, you'll notice that the flue is not attached to that chimney. Now let's say I added this by mistake. We'll do a long press. We'll delete that. And we're just back to the chimney that we're working on. I want to show you some special fields. And we're going to move along quickly because, again, all of the icons work exactly the same for every item that you are going to inspect. Now I am going to go down to flue shape, and I want you to notice the elements right below flue shape. As I select rectangular, notice that they changed. Let's go with circular. They change. Oval, they change. Let's go back to rectangular. Internal flue opening length. We have a lot of 12 by 12 flues around here, but really the inside of those 12 by 12 flues around here is about 10.25 by 10.25. Again, every item that you would be looking at when you're looking at the flue, according to NFPA 211, is mentioned in these fields. Let's go ahead and add a fireplace to this. Again, I just want to show you some of the special functions. I'm not really trying to do a complete report here. Choose your fireplace type. We do have support for Rumford fireplaces, but let's select traditional masonry fireplace. The fireplace width, let's say that fireplace width is 36, and the fireplace height is, let's go with 36 on that too, because I want it to fail according to the flue size. Notice that little red exclamation points that showed up? It's letting you know that flue is undersized by almost 19%. Now let's reduce this down to a 30-inch flue, and notice it's undersized by just a little under 3%. This app does a lot of the math for you. Let's say that the combustible trim sticks out more than 1.5 inches. That's the way NFPA 211 describes it. So let's look at our clearance to combustible trim, and let's put that at 8 inches. It fails. Let's go 12 inches. It passes. Hearth extension size, starting measuring at the face of the fireplace. Let's say it's 19. That's going to fail. 20. It's going to pass. That's because our fireplace opening is greater than 6 square feet. So let's put this down to a fireplace width of 28 and make this 26. And our hearth extension size, let's put that at 16. Now it's going to pass. And notice our exclamation points went away up there. Okay, let's change these back so that we have some failures here. Hearth extensions on the side of the fireplace. This is measuring from the side of the fireplace to the edge of the hearth. Let's go with 6. It's going to fail. Let's go with 8. It's going to fail. Let's go with 12. It passes. So let's make it 11 so that it fails. Again, we use our comment assist. Okay, fireplace depth. Let's go with 19. It's going to fail. It needs to be 20. Throat size, 7. Going to fail. Let's go with 8. And again, all of the things that you would inspect on the fireplace are in this field. From this, we can also end our report and go ahead and generate a PDF of this report. As this saves, I'm going to end this session of the demonstration.
Let's talk about adding multiple appliances in one flue. For example, you have a masonry chimney that has a flue tile in it, and the flue is for both a water heater and a furnace. You would add a masonry chimney, you would add a flue, and then you would add a freestanding. Now let's start with the gas furnace. Let's click on fuel. Notice what happens below in the fields right below that. I'm going to click gas, and some things are going to change. I would always recommend that you put the BTU input of the appliance. And I would also recommend that you take a picture of the appliance in the event that the appliance was ever changed out. Let's say that this is the furnace, and the furnace is a category 1. And you can take more pictures of the appliance, general condition of the appliance. But in order to connect that to the flue, we have to add a connector pipe. And we can rename these, which would be helpful in this particular instance. Okay, we will rename this furnace connector pipe. We'll change this freestanding name to furnace. Now we need to add the water heaters. What we'll do is we will go back and click flue. Matter of fact, while we're here, why don't we go ahead and rename this as the gas flue. We will add a freestanding. We will rename this the water heater. Fuel again on this would be gas. The BTU input, let's say this is a 40,000 BTU. The appliance is the water heater. And again, I would always recommend that you take a picture of the appliance in the event that the customer changes the appliance, and possibly they change it with a different BTU rating of the appliance, and possibly it was a lined chimney at the time with a proper sized flue liner, but they changed out the appliance with maybe a larger appliance because they weren't getting enough hot water for the whole family. So they change out the appliance, and maybe it's no longer appropriate for the size liner. So this is just another way to protect yourself. So if there was another water heater, we could add that.
We are going to look at the on-device presentation of your inspection report. If you go to the ChimSpect logo in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the three lines, the printer icon, and a icon that looks like a computer monitor. Click on the computer monitor icon, and it begins their inspection report. Every field that you wanted the customer to see, where you put in a green check mark in the box, is going to show up with its own page on your PowerPoint style presentation. Any information that you typed in, like I typed in the bricks are no longer being held in place by the mortar. Also, each one of your pictures, you can open each one of the pictures, zoom in on it, point out further details to your customer, and move on to the next item in your inspection report. Once you have gone through the entire inspection report with the customer, I'm going to click to the end of the report. You'll have the ability to have put in your findings and conclusions, what you want your customer to remember from your inspection report. And they'll also have the ability to sign their inspection report right on your device. This one's already been signed. I'm going to go to one that hasn't been signed. You notice I've have something written in the signature acknowledgement area. You have to have something there for them to acknowledge in order for the green check mark to show up. Then when you go to your inspection report, there's the findings and conclusions. This will be the acknowledgement that they sign, and then you'll have the ability to sign right on the device. Once you've then saved that inspection report to the cloud by tapping on the... Welcome back for another training session of the ChimSpect app for detailed chimney inspections and report writing. Today our lesson is going to be on printing and emailing from the ChimSpect app on an Apple device. First, you want to save your document to the cloud. Then you want to generate your report for the printer. And please notice that one of the idiosyncrasies of the Apple device is it will always wait until it has a printer hooked up to it before it actually formats the print. It gets information from the printer to be able to format the document. Notice the headers and footers are just a little bit off. Then I select a printer. Now it's formatted the document for our printer. And now all the headers and footers have completely lined up the way that they're supposed to be. Now I could go ahead and print the document, or if I want to email it, I just zoom in or do a reverse pinch. Tap the icon in the upper right hand corner. Hit mail. And now I can email my PDF report to my client. It's as easy as that. Thanks. Join us again for another training session.
We're going to take a look at some of the challenges of using a smaller device, such as a cell phone. I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus, which still has a pretty good footprint, but if you'll notice that some of the icons overlap each other, and some of the icons, if you're not familiar with the app, you may not know what these icons mean. The easiest way to overcome some of these challenges is simply go from the portrait mode in your device to the landscape mode. Now your icons all show up and they are more easily accessed. But when we go up here and we click on our address, it may not be as easy to go ahead and type those elements in, so we go ahead and we turn back to the portrait mode. Now our keyboard's a lot easier to work with, and we don't have any of the issues that we had before. So simply going back and forth between the portrait mode and the landscape mode is how to overcome issues with a smaller device. Dashboard. Go to chimspect.com and sign in. Go to this tab that says Inspections, and you will notice that we have 20 inspections in this list because we are sorting by recent. If you don't see what you're looking for, you can click Load More Results, which adds 20 more to your results, or you can search by their address, name, phone number, or email. Keep in mind that you have to enter those in exactly as they were entered into the inspection, or it's going to come up showing no results. My favorite way to search is by date range, because you can just choose a range and hit search. Then you can look for the inspection that you're looking for. Earlier in this video, we talked about viewing that when you're doing an inspection, it's creating 3 separate reports. The one report is the PDF report that the customer is going to get. The other is the PowerPoint style presentation that your device is building. And the third way is viewing the raw data. So all of your data is being brought into your inspection report, and every field that you put something in, whether you put a check mark or not, is going to show up in this report. If you want to edit anything in this report, you need to click on the dark print. Here you could enter comments, you could change the photo. If there was a mistake in the customer's name, again, you hit the name field, it opens up this gray box, and then you can edit anything that you need to. Any of your orange fields, you can tap on that and rename that as well. About every 20 seconds, your inspection report is saved, so your changes are automatically saved. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the report, you're going to notice that there is a box that says Archive Inspection. I'll explain what that is in a minute, but you can archive it or unarchive it. Also, if there were any private notes that you entered in during your inspection, you could edit them here. Or if your inspectors came back and had some information about this house that you decided you wanted to add to your file, you can add that to your file as well. This particular field right here is not edited here. That's the address at the top of the page. You would edit that here, and then it's going to, that will change when you change that. To get out of the editing mode of the inspection report, just click off to the side. Now, the importance of the archived inspections, many offices like to view every inspection report that comes through. When they view it, they've changed all their edits. They can add it to their archived inspection, and it won't show up in this list anymore. So a lot of companies like to keep this list very clean so they know what inspection reports they've looked at and have not looked at. Since we're on the dashboard, I'm going to show you a couple of other things that you can do from your dashboard. Click on the Profile tab. If you need to change your password, you can change your password. You would have to know your old password, put in your new password and confirm it, and then you can change your password. If you just forgot what your password is, you can go to the sign-in page and click on I forgot my password. And it will take you through the steps that you need to be able to figure out what your password was. Also, from your Profile tab, you can change your subscription. Now, if you go to your Devices tab and you attempt to add another device, if it brings up the error message that the maximum number of devices in your subscription have been used, you go to Profile, you click Change Your Subscription, and add, or you can actually remove devices and modify your subscription. You'll get a notification of what your subscription cost is going to change to. You can click Cancel or you can click OK. If you add additional devices, it's going to say that what the amount of your subscription is going to change per month, and any devices that you added in the middle of a billing period are going to show up as a partial charge. So if you came in around the middle of the month and added one device, you're going to get a one-time charge of approximately $15, and then the following months you will be charged the amount that it shows right here. If you have further questions, you can email me, Jim at ChimSpect.com, or you can call me at 330-268-9141, and I can answer your questions. Thank you. I hope you enjoy using ChimSpect. Well, here's our current promotion. Now that you have watched the video, you can sign up at ChimSpect.com if you haven't already done so. You can send me an email at jim@chimspect.com. In the subject, put promotional refund. I will refund your first month of service. I will lock in the promotional price for 1 year. Our current pricing is $70 per month for one device and the dashboard, and each additional device is $30 per month. This is a no-risk subscription, so you can cancel at any time. Thank you for watching Chimney Inspection Report Writing Simplified with ChimSpect. If you need the CEUs for CSIA, NFI, or Fire, please email me at jim@chimspect.com with your company name and certification numbers. I'll take care of the paperwork for you. Thank you. Please go and sign up at chimspect.com if you haven't already done so. Thank you for listening.